One of the things I often hear when people find out I'm a storyteller is, well, I really don't have any stories to tell. Have you ever thought that? Maybe you're interested in using stories more in the work you do, or you want to write a book, or maybe you just want to be more engaging in social settings. And what stops you is that little voice that says, who are you kidding? No one wants to hear about your life. You don't have any stories to tell. Now, let me tell you, that is a huge problem, not just from a strategic storytelling perspective, but for humankind. Here's why. The other day, I had one of those incredible mornings. You know, the kind where you just get everything done. It was awesome. I wrapped up a huge work project and I wasn't going to start another one. I had washed my hair, which moms will tell you is a big deal. And I had a few genuine extra minutes before I had to pick up the kids from preschool. Truly spare minutes that I could do whatever I wanted to with them. So I hopped in my car and raced to the coffee shop, and I came to an intersection on the way. The light turned green and I was just about to go when a cop pulled right in front of my car and stopped me. Now, at first I was afraid I had done something wrong. I was moving pretty quickly. And then I saw on the side of his car, it said funeral patrol or funeral procession. They were basically stopping traffic so a funeral procession could pass. And I admit, I was so wrapped up in maximizing my few spare moments that I was frustrated that I had to wait. I was a little irritated, and it's embarrassing to admit, but it was true. And I was just about to grumble about it when the procession was over. I mean, it seriously couldn't have been more than six cars long. And then the cop drove away, and the guy behind me actually had to honk to get me to move again, because I was just too busy trying to figure out, how does that happen? Like, what do you have to do or not do in your life to have, on your very last day above the ground, only 6 people show up? So I was disturbed by that, and I wrestled with it for the rest of the day. And then I had a phone call with a friend and a colleague of mine, and she said to me, well, I don't tell stories. I don't have any stories to tell. I haven't survived breast cancer. I haven't climbed Mount Everest. My life is just normal. No one would want to hear my stories. And that's when I realized the two were connected. My storyless friend and the way too short funeral procession. You see, at the end of our lives, it really does come down to impact, how we affect the people around us. Do we make a difference in their lives? Do people learn from us? Did we add value or perspective? And the thing is, you don't have to survive a tragedy or conquer the impossible to make a difference. Small stories can make a big difference. And our lives happen in that way, in really small moments, and all of them have value, good or bad or big or small. When we tell the stories of small lessons or small obstacles we've overcome, or choices we shouldn't have made, or choices that we would make again, that is how we make an impact on a daily basis, an impact that compounds over our normal lifetime. It's these stories that are gifts for others, but only if we tell them. You know, my hope is when I die and it's my last day above ground, that the room is packed with people sharing the stories that I had shared with them. Big or small, I hope that they're saying my stories made a difference. And that's my hope for you. If you have that voice telling you that you don't have any stories, I hope you don't listen. And at the end of the days, when it's your procession going by, I hope there's an impatient person sitting at the stoplight and that they have to wait for so long that they are forced to ask themselves, who was that? And what kind of a person were they to make such a difference? All because you had the courage to tell your stories, big or small, and the awareness that they matter. That's how you stop traffic. That is how you leave a legacy.